Hello dear viewers, and welcome back to the channel where we explore the most critical developments surrounding the British royal family and the global events that shape their schedules and their safety. Today we delve into a sudden and deeply concerning situation that has put a major question mark over one of Prince William's most ambitious and personal projects, the Earthshot Prize. This prestigious environmental initiative, which has captured worldwide attention, was slated for its grand fifth ceremony in the vibrant yet currently volatile city of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Prince William, the esteemed founder of this groundbreaking prize, had been meticulously preparing for his departure from the United Kingdom in just a few short days. The date circled on the global calendar for this year's highly anticipated ceremony is November 5th. It is a moment meant to celebrate innovation and hope, a stark contrast to the grim reality that has suddenly consumed the host city. Before we unpack the terrifying security threats that have dramatically escalated the risks for the Prince of Wales and other international dignitaries, please take a moment to show your support. Do remember to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already joined our community, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our in-depth royal analyses. Your engagement truly helps us bring these detailed reports to you. The vision of Earthshot, a decade of hope. Let us first set the scene by reminding ourselves of the immense importance of the Earthshot Prize itself. The Prince of Wales founded this ambitious 10-year program with a singular vital goal to scout and champion practical, scalable solutions designed to alleviate the planet of its most urgent and pressing environmental challenges. It is a monumental undertaking, established to inspire global change through optimism rather than despair. The prize structure is divided into 5 immensely important categories, each representing a crucial pillar in the fight for environmental sustainability. These 5 Earthshots, as they are known, guide innovators and entrepreneurs towards solving specific crises. They are protect and restore nature, clean our air, revive our oceans, build a waste-free world, and fix our climate. For the Prince, the Earthshot Prize is more than just an awards show. It is a decadal-long commitment to galvanizing the world's most brilliant minds. The fact that the ceremony was slated for Rio de Janeiro this year speaks volumes about the prize's global reach and its dedication to highlighting solutions emerging from all corners of the world, particularly those nations facing the immediate consequences of climate change. The logistics, the planning, and the enormous diplomatic effort required to stage an event of this magnitude involving heads of state, major philanthropists, and global celebrities were already staggering. However, despite these high aspirations and meticulous planning, a major unexpected hitch has thrown the entire royal itinerary into serious doubt. The security landscape in Rio de Janeiro has shifted violently and rapidly, transforming from a manageable concern into what is now being described as a crisis. The security nightmare violence erupts. The core issue stems from a dramatic and horrifying surge in gang warfare that erupted earlier this week. Following the outbreak of terrifying bloodshed on Tuesday, intelligence assessments have indicated that the security threats facing the royal party have increased not just incrementally, but potentially tenfold. This unprecedented escalation has forced the Brazilian government into a desperate scramble, mobilizing not only local police forces, but also drafting in the army to try and contain the rapidly spiraling situation. A highly placed source speaking confidentially to the Mirror confirmed the seriousness of the situation. They stated, with Prince William and other dignitaries arriving in Rio for the ceremony, security was already heightened, as is always the case for a major royal visit. But following the unprecedented bloodshed now shed during fierce inter-gang fighting, the government has drafted in thousands more officers and the military. The very presence of the Prince of Wales, a figure of global recognition, demands the utmost levels of protection. When a city's security infrastructure is already stretched to its absolute limit, dealing with internal armed conflict, the inclusion of a high-value target, such as a senior member of the British royal family, introduces an intolerable level of risk. The civil unrest and organized violence commenced with devastating effect on Tuesday. What began as a targeted operation quickly devolved into widespread conflict. Initial reports confirmed that the riots tragically resulted in the deaths of 64 people on that first Tuesday alone. This horrifying toll included the fatalities of 4 dedicated police officers who were caught in the crossfire or targeted during the clashes. Authorities did manage to bring 80 suspects into custody, but the scale of the violence indicated a deep systemic breakdown of public order. Targeting the Red Command, the deadliest operation. To fully comprehend the magnitude of the threat facing Rio, we must understand the nature of the conflict. This is not mere street crime. This is an organized war being waged by the state against one of the most ruthless criminal enterprises in the hemisphere. The military-style operation which triggered the massive backlash and subsequent gang war had specifically targeted Rio's most powerful criminal organization for drug trafficking, the notorious Comando Vermelho, or the Red Command. This confrontation has been categorized by security experts and local media as perhaps the deadliest police operation against drug gangs in Brazil's recorded history. While the ensuing violence flared up unexpectedly this week, the operation itself was far from spontaneous. Authorities confirmed that the tactical maneuver had been meticulously planned and coordinated over an extensive period of 2 months in advance, indicating the seriousness with which the government viewed the threat posed by the Comando Vermelho. The intensity of the conflict quickly surpassed initial predictions. The death toll, which started at 64 on Tuesday, ballooned rapidly. Authorities confirmed that the official death toll had tragically risen to at least 121 people overnight following the initial clashes. Furthermore, officials cautioned that this number was still fluid and was sorrowfully expected to rise, potentially reaching as high as 132 fatalities. As operations continued and the full scope of the violence became clearer, the sheer volume of casualties, civilians, suspects, and law enforcement alike, paints a picture of a city under siege, where high-powered weaponry and organized criminal networks hold terrifying sway over large swaths of the metropolitan area. The political and diplomatic fallout. The crisis has not only impacted street safety, but has also drawn sharp condemnation and concern from the highest levels of the Brazilian government. President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, recognizing the gravity of the situation and the international scrutiny it attracts, addressed the conflict publicly. In a post on the social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, President Lula da Silva issued a firm statement regarding the necessity of this painful operation. We cannot accept that organized crime continues to destroy families, oppress residents, and spread drugs and violence throughout the cities. This statement underscores the complexity of the situation. The government feels compelled to act decisively against these powerful cartels, even if the resulting violence creates immediate instability and jeopardizes major international events such as the Earthshot Prize. For Prince William and the palace security detail, the situation presents a profound logistical and ethical dilemma. The insider who spoke to the Mirror articulated the genuine concern felt within royal and diplomatic circles. All eyes will be on Rio while William is there, and there is genuine concern that violence will erupt again while he is in Brazil. A royal visit, particularly one involving an environmental prize, aims to project stability, hope, and global cooperation. The presence of the prince under the shadow of heavy military deployment, constant threat of renewed warfare, and a soaring death toll would fundamentally alter the message and the mood of the event. Instead of focusing on innovative green solutions, the global media narrative would inevitably pivot to royal safety and the urban conflict raging outside the venue doors. The weighing risk against royal duty. The decision to proceed or postpone the Earthshot ceremony is now resting on a nifty balance between royal duty and unacceptable risk. The security team responsible for the Prince of Wales, likely drawing on guidance from the UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, must assess the probability of targeted attacks, the risk of accidental exposure to armed conflict, and the strain placed on Brazilian security forces. A royal protection detail operates based on layers of security, requiring local forces to secure the wider perimeter, transport routes, and emergency medical pathways. When thousands of local police and military personnel are already diverted to managing a full-scale gang war against the commando, the required level of focused protection for a foreign dignitary becomes nearly impossible to guarantee without drawing crucial resources away from the immediate crisis. The Earthshot Prize is designed to be a feel-good, forward-looking event, holding it while the host city is experiencing its deadliest police operation in history, risks turning a celebration of innovation into a symbol of global inequality and instability. Furthermore, the cancellation or postponement of the event, while regrettable, sends a powerful signal that the safety of the prince and other attendees is paramount. Should the palace decide to alter the schedule, it would be a diplomatic decision made in consultation with Brazil, framed not as a lack of confidence, but as a recognition of the immediate crisis facing the nation's security forces. The cost of rescheduling an event of this magnitude is astronomical, involving millions of pounds in lost revenue, cancelled flights, and logistical reshuffling. But these costs pale in comparison to the potential consequences of a security breach. The logistics of the trip would have involved secure motorcades navigating complex urban environments, public appearances, and high-profile meetings. Each of these elements now represents a potential vulnerability. The Commando Vermelho is known for its sophisticated organization and ruthlessness. The thought of them viewing a royal visit as an opportunity to make a statement either directly or indirectly is a nightmare scenario for any protective service. Historical precedent and future implications. While the specifics of this gang war are unique to Rio, royal security teams have faced similar dilemmas before when planning visits to regions experiencing political unrest or high crime rates. The general protocol is always weighted heavily toward caution. The reputation of the monarchy, and indeed the safety of the individual, demands that risk is mitigated to the greatest extent possible. For Prince William, who has invested so much personal capital and time into making the Earthshot Prize a global success, this disruption is undoubtedly frustrating. However, his decision-making process will prioritize the safety of his staff, the attendees, and the smooth operation of the event, which may require prioritizing a safer environment over the originally scheduled date. The fact that the government has committed the military to the operation highlights the gravity of the situation. Military involvement signifies that the conflict has surpassed the capabilities of standard law enforcement to control. The streets of Rio are at present effectively a combat zone in certain areas, making the prospect of hosting a peaceful celebratory event on November 5th seem increasingly remote. The world watches Rio de Janeiro today not just for the resolution of this brutal conflict, but also for the implications it holds for international travel and diplomacy. The desire to celebrate environmental progress clashes violently with the reality of organized crime and urban warfare. Conclusion and your thoughts. The planned arrival of Prince William and Rio de Janeiro for the Earthshot Prize ceremony, scheduled for November 5th, now hangs in agonizing suspense. The high ideals of the 10-year environmental program stand in stark juxtaposition to the brutal reality of the gang war that has claimed at least 121 lives, a toll expected to rise to 132, and drawn the military into a desperate struggle against the Commando Vermelho. The escalation of the security threat, deemed to have increased tenfold, combined with the fact that 4 police officers were among the 64 initial casualties, has created an environment deemed highly precarious for any international dignitary. The words of President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva echo the severity of the crisis, emphasizing the commitment to combating organized crime that is currently destroying families and spreading violence. The palace must now decide whether the importance of the Earthshot ceremony outweighs the very real, immediate, and dramatically heightened security risks. This decision will be one of the most difficult logistical and diplomatic calls made by Prince William's team this year, What are your thoughts on this unprecedented situation? Should Prince William proceed with the November 5th ceremony, relying on the increased military presence, or is the security risk simply too high to justify the travel? Do you believe the ongoing violence will overshadow the important message of the Earthshot Prize? Please share your opinions and perspectives in the comment section below. We read every comment, and your insights are invaluable to our discussion. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more detailed royal and geopolitical updates, and join us again soon as we track this evolving security situation and the final decision regarding Prince William's crucial trip to Brazil. Thank you for watching, and stay